Alright guys, so I decided to do kind of a live first impressions of the last Rite, so in a second here we're going to jump into some gameplay. After the gameplay we'll talk about this weapon a little bit. It isn't really as bad as a lot of other people have been saying, but I also, I wasn't so impressed with it that I wanted to do a full review on it. But for now, make sure you stick around to the end of this video. We'll talk about my thoughts on this weapon after, but let's get into the gameplay. Back. Few too many over there to really
That's why we have fire team.
Hip fire feels fine at that range, but main issue is that on this map I really have to keep backpedaling.
Make that look easy, Warlock.
The fuck?
Together as one. I love it.
Nice. And this dude put on sweet business too. I guess he's getting mad.
A fire team that fights together.
Lots of team shots.
Together.
Which I don't have a problem with. It means that my team is doing what I need them to. The hipfire is okay, but DMT is not.
I can't believe what I'm seeing.
I know that sitting back like this isn't necessarily the most entertaining gameplay, but it's kind of how you use scouts. I want to try to discourage that sweet business from trying to push here.
One after another.
100 to the head out of well, damn. Yeah, it feels okay, but it's definitely not DMT. Now we're spawning inside, which actually isn't the best for this weapon, to be sure. And the hipfire is okay. But don't expect this to be DMT, because it definitely is not.
Remaining. You shut the enemy down.
Feels harder to land my shots with this than it does on DMT as well. That is a nasty head glitch, holy fuck.
Oh, look what you have. 2 for 1.
I really need to have an uncharged melee button. It's one of those things that I kind of keep forgetting to set up. Where is that dude?
Minutes.
It just feels very awkward to use at those, like, medium ranges. God damn, the melee reg though was just insane. Okay, maybe it's not that bad.
That's why we have fire teams. Your enemy can't kill if
Man, Sweet Business has some range though. Fuck.
Your enemy. One. You've got 30 seconds. 2 for 1. Seconds. You're defeated. Fight again. Persistence is key.
Yeah, I don't know what to do about that. I was slaying out for most of that.
He defeated
Let's see how we did. 43. Very nice. Alright, let's talk about this weapon a bit. Okay, so really brief discussion on last Rite here. Really, I wanted to talk about this weapon like this because this is kind of one of those weapons where it's like, I don't think it's really worth a full review. Like, I don't think it's bad per se. I mean, you saw the gameplay, it did fine, and I think one of the big issues people have kind of been having with this weapon is that anytime people see, you know, this kind of model of weapon where you have that, you know, the lever action and it kind of looks like DMT, they want it to be DMT. And this weapon is not DMT, and you cannot use it like DMT. It's just, you know, it's not DMT. The big thing that makes DMT so strong is that hipfire accuracy. It makes DMT strong at pretty much any range. And this weapon just does not have that. This is a pretty standard 120 scout rifle, and that's how you'll want to use it. You'll use it by sitting pretty far back and just laning up and picking people off from a distance, making people weak for your teammates, so on and so forth. That is where this weapon's strength is. Now, as far as the rolls go, you know, keep away, opening shot, that's great on most weapons. I don't think it's really necessary on this one, though. We'll talk about that in a second. Let me get this out of the way first. Reconstruction, Focus Fury, that's clearly supposed to be the PvE role. It's fine, like, these are both good PvE perks, but I just, you know, on a scout, I'm kind of like, yeah, maybe not. Like, quite frankly, I have a hung jury with kinetic tremors, and I don't think I would ever pick this over that. But if you don't have a good PvE scout, then, you know, this isn't bad. This is definitely something that's usable. But coming back to what I was saying before, here's the reason I'm not as big a fan of this perk selection on this weapon. So keep in mind, I don't have any of the perks selected currently, right? And the range stock is 67 meters, Jesus. And if I put on full bore, 71 meters, ricochet rounds, 73 meters, keep away, and let's say keep away is procced, 75 meters, and then if we have opening shot, granted this only works on that first shot, but 81 meters is the absolute maximum reach of this. And that's just, it's not necessary on a weapon like this. I mean, if you're honest with yourself, right? If we're really honest, in PvP or PvE, how often are you engaging a target that far out? 75.9 meters. That's insane. It does not need this much range. So really, you know, I think there would be perks that are better than keep away here. I mean, I guess the reload speed and aim assist is nice, especially when combined, you know, with opening shot. That's a lot of aim assist coming out of this thing. But at the very least, I think I would rather have like a different barrel perk, you know, maybe like hammer forged or something, trade a little extra range to get a little more stability, that sort of thing. So overall, I don't think this is a bad weapon. I just don't think it's a great one either. Like, if you don't have this weapon yet, you don't need to feel rushed to get it. I would call it an above average scout at best, and that's pretty much it. And that kind of unfortunately seems to be the theme of a lot of our weapons this season. Like, Apocal Integration is, you know, It's above average, I would say, but it's nothing great. Spare rations is above average, but, it doesn't really do anything outstanding or anything like that. And this kind of falls into this category. Granted, I don't really have a problem with this weapon not being particularly strong. God only knows, this game is already just infested with passive players, and we really don't need any more long-range weapons, so I'm glad this weapon isn't too terribly strong. But if I were going to use a scout and be laning up, would I pick this over something like DMT, Jade Rabbit, Polaris Lance? Absolutely not. But, it's not a bad scout rifle. It feels good to shoot. I like the sights on it, to be sure. It has better sights when when you're actually using your sights. It has better sights than DMT, so I guess it has that going for it. But on the flip side, DMT isn't really a weapon you're meant to be aiming down sights with, so does it really matter at that point? It's probably worth giving a try because it does feel good to shoot, and if you're, if you like how this weapon feels, then yeah, go ahead and use it. It's not a bad weapon, I just don't think it's a particularly great one. But yeah, that's pretty much all that I have to say on this weapon. It's not bad, I just don't think I would use it over other options. And I decided to keep this one, this review pretty short because I just, there just isn't a lot to say about it. It's kind of one of these weapons where I'm like, yeah, it's good, but it's nothing where it isn't so good or so bad that I'm sitting here like, yeah, I want to put the time and effort into, editing and everything like that for a full review. So it's not bad, give it a shot, but don't expect anything crazy out of it. It's not DMT, and there are probably, better scout rifles for, this sort of purpose, sitting back and laning up. There's better scouts out there, but again, you might like how it feels, and so that alone, may make it worth using for you. But that's all from me today, Guardians. If you enjoyed this video, please do me a favor, leave me a like and a comment, let me know what you think of this weapon, and as we've said before, we're very close to 500 subs and being able to get partnered with YouTube, so please do me a favor, hit that subscribe button with the bell icon. It would mean a lot to me. For now, I will see you all in the next video. Peace, Guardians.